Good afternoon. Good noon, I guess we could say. As always, running into a little bit of technology issues. So today, I want to talk to you about realism and optimism because the more I study optimism, the more I grow in positive psychology, I get this question a lot, like, where's the line, Liz? So that's what we're going to talk about today. And make sure to leave any of your thoughts, comments, whatever in the comments. So I want to really explore that delicate balance between realism and optimism, share some research, and even share a little bit of my own thoughts as I've worked in this field for about 8 years now, and how finding that right balance can actually lead to a healthier, more fulfilling life. And I think it's a topic that might resonate with you. So let me know in the chat, especially in these interesting times that we live in, right? Okay. So by the end of our talk, it's my goal that you'll not only understand the power of balancing realism, and I'm talking about a certain type of realism with optimism, but also learn about my incredible opportunity to delve deeper into this practice through a free masterclass I have called Liz's Optimism BootCamp. It's all about learning how to be optimistic. So let me share a story with you. Emma was a talented project manager, known for a keen eye for detail and her ability to foresee potential pitfalls. She was highly valued for her realistic approach to planning and execution. However, Emma often found herself overwhelmed by the sheer number of challenges and worst-case scenarios she anticipated. Her stress level was high and her enjoyment of work was diminishing. Excuse me. Maybe you've been here. Let me know in the chat if you've been here. And thanks so much for coming in. Oop. Okay, let me know if you've been here. I know I've been here, right? Now, Emma's turning point came when she attended a workshop on positive psychology. At her work, they did a positive psychology workshop. And here she learned that while realism is crucial for effective planning and risk management, it can be balanced with optimism to create a more sustainable and positive outlook. So by integrating optimism into a realistic mindset, Emma began to see opportunities where she once only saw setbacks or obstacles, right? Her stress levels decreased and her productivity increased, and she found greater joy in her work and her personal life. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing? Now, this transformation in Emma's life can be understood through the lens of neuroplasticity, like I talked about yesterday, and the interplay between realism and optimism. Now, maybe you remember from yesterday, neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming a new neural connections. And this plays a vital role in shifting from pessimism or even too much realism to that optimism, right? And Martin Seligman is one of my favorite psychologists, especially in the positive psychology area. And his research has really pioneered in positive psychology. And he's shown that optimistic thinking can really create and strengthen neural pathways associated with positive emotions and resilience. And here's the thing, neuroscience is also honoring this research as well as other psychology studies. Positivity produces more positivity. Optimism is going to produce more optimism. Now, on the other hand, a purely optimistic outlook without grounding in reality can, and I want to emphasize can, lead to unrealistic expectations and potential disappointments. Now, in my experience, I want to challenge this. I believe in Jesus Christ. And in my experience, you have to have a level of illogical faith that's also grounded in some sort of reality, but don't take that reality to the extreme, right? I have witnessed, I've studied, I've seen where that illogical thinking is going to take you further than logical realism. In my opinion, if you're realistic, you're a pessimist. Now, I want to believe in the impossible, right? I work to take normal people and make them exceptional people in their crafts. And so what I have found is that the more illogical you are, the better. But where I have seen optimism fail is where people are like, oh, I'm going to wish for the stars and the moon, and I'm going to believe while I do nothing or everything counter to what I need to do. So the realism, in my opinion, is doing the work, staying consistent, and being convicted in your beliefs that it will happen and acting as if it's already happened. That's just me. I can't give you research on it that's been empirically studied or peer reviewed. But shifting back to the research, they say balancing realism with optimism is key. Again, where optimism becomes destructive is when there's nothing put there's nothing done. It's like really wishful thinking. To me, that's not optimism. But studies have indicated that individuals who can balance these perspectives tend to experience better mental health and greater success in their endeavors. What would more success mean for you? Right? We know that they're more prepared for challenges because they can remain hopeful and open to positive outcomes, right? They don't get discouraged when they see a situation that seems impossible to overcome, right? So when you balance realism with optimism, what we'll see is an alignment with core values of hope, resilience, and pragmatic action. And again, it's that pragmatic action that I think is so essential. It's about acknowledging the challenges and the difficulties we face while maintaining a hopeful and proactive attitude. Optimism is really connected to faith. And one thing you'll see over and over in performance psychology is that you have to believe so strongly in that vision, and you have to act as if it's already happened and walk by the faith of that vision, not what you see. And to me, that's optimism. Now, we know with professional athletes, they're putting in the work to make that vision a reality. And that's why I say you got to stay kind of a little bit illogical while doing that pragmatic work. Now, this balanced approach fosters resilience and enables us to navigate life's ups and downs with greater ease. Also, just to go on another tangent here, have you noticed if you study religion or God or the divine, but I know in the Bible, God's very illogical. So I'm just saying, maybe science doesn't have it fully right, but I'll let you make that decision. It's a little bit more personal. Now, as the philosopher William James once said, pessimism leads to weakness, optimism to power. And realistic optimism, which I'm going to say has some level of illogical optimism inside of it with that pragmatic action, gives us the power to address issues head on without being overwhelmed by them. It's about preparing for the storm, but believing in the rainbow that follows, right? And in my opinion, it's keeping your eyes fixed on that rainbow, believing it's already here and walking as if that vision has already occurred. And then when you see it, you're like, there it is. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the comments. So let's talk about some practical actions. Well, it is alive, but you don't look like a real person. There's my comment. Just kidding. I don't know. It just was a whim. Okay, so how can we balance realism with optimism in our daily lives? Here's a few practical steps. Number one, acknowledge reality, but don't let it stop you. That's huge. So recognize and accept that challenges and the risk you face are real, right? But you can overcome them, especially if you believe and you have that self-conviction and you advocate for that belief, right? We see Sarah Blakely of Spanx, she did this, and she comments on this so much when she's in interviews about how she didn't share her dream with people because she didn't want people to, put their negativity all over it. People are very negative, and most people want to see you lose and fall. I mean, look at comments on social media, then celebrate and encourage you. So you want to be aware of those potential pitfalls, and you want to allow yourself to respond effectively for them. Number two, focus on solutions. While acknowledging problems shifts your focus to finding solutions and opportunities. We want to acknowledge the problem, but be like, okay, I believe there's a solution here. I believe that, right? That conviction can take you so far. The optimistic perspective can allow you to have new avenues for success too. Number three, practice gratitude. We talked about this yesterday. Regularly taking the time to reflect on what's going well and right in your life is huge. This practice can help maintain positive outlook amidst challenges. Number four, you want to set smart goals, right? Specific, measurable, actionable. You want to get the results in timely, right? Aim high, but ensure your goals are attainable. Sometimes we create such high goals that we don't really believe we can have them, or we focus so much on what's called the outcome goal. The outcome goal is really out of your control. So what we want to emphasize is the performance and the process goals, right? What are the steps you need to do to get there? That can be huge. And this balance will prevent frustration and encourage steady progress. And number five, surround yourself with support. And may I just highlight, if you're on YouTube, the comments. These are people you don't want to support yourself with. People who are negative and cruel, and I'm only talking to those people, are those that you don't want in your life. You want to engage with people who encourage and support your balanced approach, who root you on, who cheer you on, right? That's so important. In the research, we learn consistently that surrounding yourself with positive people will take you further. So many people are negative. You see this, again, so much on social media. You see this in television. You see this in books. Be very mindful of where you spend your time because it can make or break you. So in conclusion, let's balance realism with optimism, okay? There is a delicate approach, and this is going to be a little bit personalized for you. You've got to kind of figure out where that is by just playing around with it. And it allows us to be prepared and proactive while maintaining a hopeful and positive outlook. Now, by integrating these perspectives, we can navigate challenges more effectively and enjoy a greater sense of well-being. Who doesn't want more well-being, right? Who doesn't want to achieve more, right? Like in my line of work as a mental performance consultant, I work with people at the peak of their career and they're like, I want more. And they believe it's possible. Do you? Look, there are people that are 100 years old running marathons. Don't let things limit you, especially pessimism. Now, if you're interested in learning more about how to cultivate this balanced mindset and really rewire your brain for optimism and positivity and peak performance, then I really encourage you to join my free masterclass called How to Be Optimistic. And I kind of see this as Liz's Optimism Bootcamp. I used to be a personal trainer. Personal trainers have lots of boot camps to get your body in shape, but guess what? Your mind needs that same committed training. So this free training is going to offer that's free, I just said that. It's going to offer practical insights and techniques to help you become more optimistic and realistic and in a very sustainable and real life way. It's micro things that we can do in our life and keep doing in our life that will shift from that pessimism to that optimism. Oh, the transformation is unbelievable. I'm going to put that link in the notes. So make sure you sign up, please, please, please. And I hope you go and create a great day. Before I sign off, why don't you share one thing that really resonated with you in today's little live powwow? I know for me, it's the fact that I don't think science always has it right. People forget that science is a theory. I don't know about you, but science is a theory. It's not hard fact like people want to believe. And so my biggest takeaway and what I've seen is have a little bit of illogicalness, I don't know if that's a word, in your optimism, but then do the work, right? If you believe you could have a six-pack, but you're just shoving cake and chips in your mouth and not getting to the gym and not eating clean, well, that's wishful thinking. To me, that's not optimism or positivity. All right, guys, I've got to run to a client, but I am wishing the best for you. I'm rooting for you. Go be awesome and make sure to sign up for my free masterclass on optimism. Have a good one.